We're gonna start from the beginning again, like everything from the start. So if you can give us a brief of your undergrad journey and why did you choose that school and major?
Right, so I was always interested in physics and math, and so that's what I enrolled in originally as a double major. I stayed in Cologne, which is where I grew up, so I went to the University of Cologne there.
Okay.
Then during my undergraduate, it turned out that in order to finish both majors, I would have to write thesis in both. That seemed a little bit too much of an effort, so eventually I decided that I really like the sort of more practical aspects of physics more than the purely theoretical
I see that.
Mathematics.
Okay. And were there any like major obstacles in that step that you faced during the double major or the end?
No, I think undergrad was actually overall fairly smooth experience.
I see that.
So obviously a lot of work, as degree always is, but other than that, it was fairly straightforward.
I see. So moving forward to your grad journey and like why did you choose that school and research group and how did you decide between theory and experiment?
Right. So actually, the decision between theory and experiment already happened in undergrad because so in Germany, back then you did do a 1-year thesis at the end.
Okay.
I did talk to different advisors, and yeah, I mean, I in the end liked the project better.
As a theory.
In theory, so that was really where I made the decision between theory and experiment. So when I then started applying for PhD positions, and in Germany you don't go to a school first and then search for an advisor, but you actually just interview various advisors. I only did look at theorists at that point.
Okay.
I basically looked around for interesting topics. I started to get interested in sort of more soft matter type of studies. When my undergrad thesis was sort of real hard condensed matter project, and so I visited the groups of a few faculty that I was interested in and that had positions, and then chose the group that I eventually went to.
So you made the decision for biophysics very early on?
No, so actually I did not do biophysics back then. I started doing biophysics only as a postdoc. So I slowly went softer. I started out with real materials type questions as an undergrad. And then for my PhD, I went into sort of more polymer physics, but not really biophysics yet.
Okay.
So the biophysics then actually came later as a postdoc.
Okay, so we're gonna get to this part next, which is like, can you give us a brief overview of your post-grad journey till this moment?
Sure. So I did go back for a year first to the University of Cologne. After my PhD, this was mostly to wrap up some things from my research there and to have some more time to look more seriously into postdoc positions beyond that 1 year. I then try to identify again advisors that could be interesting. In Germany, because it's a small country, you're expected to go abroad for a while if you want to become an academic there. And so I applied all over Europe. I applied in Asia. I applied in the US at various places. And actually, what then happened is that the postdoc positions I ended up getting is because I applied to somebody at MIT who said that they didn't have any open positions, but that they knew somebody at UC San Diego to whom they forwarded my application, and then that's how I then ended up in San Diego, and that is where I then started doing biophysics, because that faculty had sort of started to really work in this field, but also was fairly fresh in that direction.
Okay, so you started your biophysics journey during the postdoc.
That's right. Okay. Yes. When I started as postdoc at UC San Diego, that's when I started doing biophysics.
Was this the only position available to you at that moment? Or you had
more or less, yes. Yeah. Okay. So yes.
Okay.
I mean, I could have presumably tried to search for longer, but
I see that.
Yeah.
And how long did you stay as a postdoc, and how did it go for you after that?
Yeah, I stayed from 97 to 2001.
Okay.
So that was sort of a longer time than maybe sometimes the postdocs. I actually started looking for faculty positions in 2000. So the last year, I already had the offer for the faculty position and just stayed one extra year because of personal reasons. It was hard to move any earlier. And so it was nearly 4-year postdoc period, but the last year was really driven by me not being able to move any earlier.
And you did apply for positions for a biophysics position, or like?
That's right. So when I started applying for faculty positions, I actually looked both at physics departments as well as positions in bioinformatics. So I had, as a postdoc, I was in the physics department, but I had worked on sequence alignment quite a bit and gone to the bioinformatics type conferences, presented my work there. So I looked at both physics positions and bioinformatics positions.
Okay.
In fact, the two offers that I got was, the one here at Ohio State in physics, but I also got an offer in bioengineering at the University of Illinois at Chicago.
Okay.
And that would have been sort of more in the bioinformatics direction.